Hey everyone, welcome back to the Steel Donut Collective. I'm Connor. With me on this video is just Bob.
This is my final intro line.
Today we have an Invader Zim story called First Fight by Italian Miss. Can I get the description?
Okay, I just on a tragedy binge right now. When Dib and his girlfriend Misty have their first fight, they get over it quickly and manage not to have another fight until they die. Whoa! Whoa!
Yeah.
But how soon will that be? What? Rated for violence? This is just random R&R. Whoa!
Yeah, girl, what are you talking about? But also, having read this, yeah, first and last fight, all right, because Misty should probably get the fuck out after what happens here. I
Really?
gotta say.
Okay.
Yeah. This is could go places.
The two ways this could read is they manage to not have another fight until they die, meaning they live however long they live, and then they die without having fought again. Or the next fight will be their last.
Yeah, and this author's on a tragedy binge, so which
oh Christ. Think? Well, chapter 1, here we go, I guess.
Yeah.
Can I do the author's note?
The other two chapters have titles, but this one doesn't, so whatever.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can do the author's note.
Author's note. I honestly have no idea why I wrote this.
Good.
It was just an impulse at 6 in the morning, but I wanted to do a fight scene between Div and Misty and have it escalate into violence.
I'd be surprised if a fight scene didn't have violence.
If you just say they had a fight, then you might not necessarily say fights, but a fight scene implies that there's violence.
There's action and stuff.
Yeah. Right. Disclaimer, nothing but Misty and my ideas. That doesn't actually... let me do that again. Yeah, disclaimer, nothing but Misty and my ideas. That's it.
Yeah.
No verb.
Yeah, no connection, no context.
What about Misty and your ideas?
Nothing but it.
Okay.
No, yeah.
Sure.
First fight. Misty, Connor, thought she had finally found love.
Oh my god, what a horrible name. Imagine being named Connor.
Yeah, I know, it's
Yikes.
The worst. It's the worst. Two syllables is just way too many for some people. That's why so many people have problems with Yella's name as well, you know?
Mm-hmm.
That's why we've just started calling him Joe in recordings.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Joe.
The 18-year-old girl had met Dib Membrane in 6th grade, and they'd started dating at age 13. Now they had graduated.
What are they using for apostrophes?
That felt like it had more space than it should, but
That's like the wrong piece of punctuation, but I don't know what the hell they're...
That's the thing where it's shift tilde, you know?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
Shift
I don't know what
tilde.
that's like a programming thing, right?
Yeah, that's like a backtick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Weird choice. Now they had graduated and were engaged. They had been living together in a small apartment close to the city where they'd grown up, close to his family and her memories. Life seemed perfect until they had the fight. Surprised they didn't have a fight at all in 5 years, you know, when they were both teenagers, but...
Yeah, you would think
whatever.
during that tumultuous time, they would be more argumentative. That's kind of how things go. People are more emotional, and then they kind of cool off. Oh, that's it. You don't really cool off as much between 13 and 18 as you would between 18 and, like, say, 23.
Yeah.
You know, you continue to kind of calm down as you get older. You can see that if you just go listen to the early STC videos. I'm fucking wild and crazy. And in these later ones, I'm just crazy.
Right. Yeah. I'm not wild anymore.
Not quite so wild.
Yeah. I don't have all the free time in the world. I have to plan when I go psycho.
Yeah.
You know, and I have to follow it to a T when I do.
Mm-hmm. If I run out of time, then it's like, I'm going to be late.
Yeah. Misty pushed her gold-rimmed glasses up on her nose and tightened the belt on her scarlet and navy robe as she glared up at the clock.
Sounds like an ugly robe.
Yeah. Blue and red. And yeah. It read 1:45 a.m. and she was ticked. backticked, like the author of the story is, I guess. He was supposed to be home at 11, and he was still MIA nearly 3 hours later.
Get out of here. He's 18. Fuck off.
She twirled the lock of navy hair that had fallen out of her bun, as was her habit.
Oh.
Characterization.
How quirky and interesting. She twirls her hair. Oh.
Yeah. A small squeak from the front door made her amethyst eyes dart to see was entering. That's the sound of half that word being carried away.
Oh man, I feel like, do we need to set up the OC bingo sheet here? Her name is Mysteria. That's pretty crazy. She's shipped with one of the main characters. Yeah, amethyst eyes. Yeah, crazy hair color, crazy eye color. I guess navy hair is maybe not that crazy in the world of Invader Zim.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know.
We'll pump the brakes on that.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
They promptly flashed in anger as her fiance, or there's no exclamation thing on that, so fiance tried to sneak in.
Where have you been?
She hissed, making him jump. She stormed over and stood before him, her pale face holding the look of a woman scorned.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you've heard the phrase, hell hath no... what is it?
Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned.
For some reason I wanted to say hell hath no wrath, but that doesn't make any sense. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Yeah. So you've heard that phrase before. And then you thought, oh, woman scorned, that's a cool phrase, let me include it, and just really force it in there.
Yeah, if I don't get it in now, I'll forget to get it in. So
her pale face holding the look of a woman scorned. You couldn't just say she was a woman scorned.
It's always got to be, Blake always talks about this, it's always got to be the, like
seemingly
of something.
Looks like. Holds the look of. You couldn't just say, she stormed over and stood before him as a woman scorned.
A woman scorned, yeah.
I mean, I'm not even sure that's a good sentence, but it's better than what you've got.
I mean, yeah, we're trying as hard as we can to work within the rule of we got to stick to this cool-ass phrasing.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Dib asked, nervousness and fear underlying in his voice.
You said you got off at 11. Here you are nearly 3 hours later, and you didn't call or anything. So what were you doing?
She demanded. Suddenly, she caught a whiff of a familiar and hated scent.
Oh my god, you were drinking again?
She hissed, stepping back. Again, how did you two never have a fight before now?
Yeah, what? Drinking again?
Yeah.
Did you just, like, piss yourself every time he, like, what? He comes home drinking and he has this pattern, but you never had a fight before.
Yeah, and this next line kind of makes it sound like this has happened before as well, so... Now, she normally didn't mind him having a drink every now and then, but when he stayed out till nearly 2 a.m. and came home reeking of it, that's where she drew the line. I guess.
Also, if he gets off work at 11, that means he's still got travel time. She's expecting him home at 11. He gets off work at 11. You should at least expect him home at 11:30. Either way, call, text.
I don't know. Misty, I'm 18, he shouted.
Exactly. You can't even legally drink. And shush, people are trying to sleep.
She hissed. No! He boomed, his voice full of a sudden thunder that startled her. You are not my keeper, woman.
This is so like the character from the show.
This is so like an 18-year-old.
Yeah. This is why I hate it when you drink. You're a mean drunk, and I'm a mean sober.
Yeah, I'm just mean. Okay. She yelled. He reached out and shoved her, making her crash to the blue carpet with a muffled thump. Oh, Jesus. Wow. At some point in this, is she going to go face down?
I hope
Is she
not.
going to say, it doesn't hurt? That's just
I don't know the rest of the lyrics.
Yeah, that's just what I'm feeling. I'm perfectly in control, he shouted, now towering over her.
So, they didn't know how to make it seem like he thinks he's in control, but he's not in control. So they just had him not be in control and then say, "I'm perfectly in control."
Yeah.
That's subtle writing right there.
He doesn't even sound drunk. He sounds like he's reading off a script.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like he's reading the cliff notes of what he should, like the notes around what he should have said.
Right.
Not the words, just a description of the words.
Yeah.
He says something to the effect of, "I'm perfectly in control." And instead of writing some dialogue, they just deleted the first part and just wrote, "I'm perfectly in control."
Yeah.
No, you are not. Sweetheart, listen, you aren't yourself when you drink. Some of these I'm skipping and some of them I'm not. I don't know what my plan here is.
Yeah.
I'll just skip them from now on. They're all wrong.
It happens every time, yeah.
Yeah, so I'll just skip them.
She pleaded, trying to reason with him. "Shut up!" he roared, shoving her back down as she attempted to get up.
"No, I'm not gonna shut up. You need to listen."
She whimpered,
Okay, why?
tears.
Yeah, for sure she needs to be out of here. Like, this is...
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously, she needs to be out of here already.
Right.
But he needs to be out of here, too, because she's awful, too.
Right. And she especially needs to be out of here after this. To her surprise and fear, he reached into the closet and grabbed a handgun.
Whoa!
0 to 100?
I feel like it would have been better for their relationship if they had fights earlier in their relationship.
Yeah, if maybe
because
it was
they would
a lot
get all
more...
this fucking aggression out in small bursts instead of him just being like, "I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out."
Or like if they had aggression to each other beforehand, this would be a lot more understandable as elevation rather than like...
Never fight. 5 years of never fighting. I come home drunk once and suddenly... I'm pulling a gun.
Or maybe this is just operating off the r/relationships kind of principle of like, oh, my boyfriend is the perfect guy ever. He's completely flawless. Well, he only has one small problem, and that is that he likes to murder dogs and keeps a shrine of dead dog corpses in the basement or something completely crazy, you know, kind of thing. But like that kind of thing where you see where it's like, we're perfect, we're completely perfect. I'm just going to tell you about this detail that would send anyone sensible running away from him immediately.
Right.
Yeah.
I like it.
Say that again, he dared her, pointing the gun at her forehead. She gasped, cringing in horror.
The STC gasped, cringing in horror, yeah.
Yeah. Her eyes finally let the tears pass, and she was sobbing on the ground with her fiancé holding her at gunpoint.
Let the tears pass?
Another cool line they had to work in?
I guess, yeah.
Oh, here's another cool line they had to work in. This was her childhood all over again.
What the fuck?
But this time she may not live to tell the tale.
What the fuck? What?
OC? I feel like we just crossed a whole row off the OC bingo sheet with that alone.
Yeah, right? I mean...
Dark and edgy backstory, and then the space next to it is just, oh man, that's darker and edgier than I ever thought it would be. You know? And just escalate. It's like you bowled a turkey in one bowling ball right there.
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, this is totally Dib. Look at the proud Misty Connor now, crying like a little girl.
Who was trying to sleep?
Also,
Are they awake now?
I guess they
live in... screaming.
I guess they live in an apartment, so the rooms around theirs?
Okay.
Yeah, they're probably all awake. Yeah? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't fire a shot, so I guess they don't know he has a gun.
Also, they're married, so if she takes his last name, she'd be Mysteria Membrane.
Somehow her name becomes more OC-ish.
Yeah. Connor is the normal thing, barely holding this together.
Yeah.
Holding his name, yeah. Crying like a little girl. He laughed cruelly, the gun never wavering, despite him being really drunk, apparently.
Yeah, I guess. Dib.
He just ate some beer-flavored gum right before coming inside.
Yeah, he's not very drunk. He's just a psycho.
She choked through the tears, looking up at him pleadingly.
Don't I matter? Don't you love me?
His arm relaxed a bit as the aftermath of the alcohol began to subside.
What?
Taking with it the memory of why he was doing this.
What?
Yeah.
That's not how anything works.
Just like in your video games, when you stop being drunk, it goes away in like 5 seconds.
And also, it takes your memory.
I mean, it's supposed to be the whole, like, he's sobering up and going, oh my god, why am I doing this? But, like, that was not a great way to describe it. Misty? Oh, my head. And it's not like you totally forget what you were just doing when you go from drunk to sober.
Yeah, no, when you black out, you actually black out.
Yeah, this thing, black, god damn it. He mumbled, swaying slightly. Deciding to risk getting shoved down again, she ungracefully clambered to her feet and took his arm.
That's not how you spell clambered.
Clamboard. Clam board.
Yeah. When you got a board clam?
Boring straight through clams.
That sounds like a really bad innuendo.
Hey, baby, I'd like to bore your clam.
Yeah.
You implied it, I explied it. Yeah.
La 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 sex.
La 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 bamba.
La 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 lasagna.
She took the gun out of his hand and led him over to the couch where she let him sit. Sit.
Honey, I wish you'd stop drinking.
You know,
I'm trying to make it sound real cash
yeah,
now.
like 10 seconds ago you threatened to kill me, but now it's just a scene and like Married with Children.
Yeah.
Oh, that Al.
You.
He's always getting up to wacky shenanigans when he drinks.
Oh, you.
Yeah. She sighed. What did I do this time? The paranormal investigator inquired, half curious and half afraid. The paranormal
a little
investigator?
bit more curious. Yeah, that's what he was doing as a kid.
I guess so.
I think.
Maybe he turned it into like a sick YouTube channel or something. I saw they put out some new Invader Zim thing like 6 months ago or so. But
yeah, they put out a movie. It's pretty decent.
Yeah, so maybe that explains everything. Probably not.
No,
not at all.
You were threatening to shoot me.
She
again.
She admitted, refusing to meet his eyes. Missed.
Riven.
My favorite adventure games.
Yeah. Oh man, if only Blake were here to list some more off.
Yeah. Her boyfriend said solemnity. Taking her hand. Yeah. It's like salami, but it's solemnity.
Yo, what do you want on you? Some pepperoni? Some solemnity? Huh?
A solemn salami. Call it solemnity. Solemnity. Yeah.
Solemnity.
Yeah. Yeah. Taking her hand, she looked into his eyes, which were full of regret. I promise I'll never drink again as long as I live. Damn, that was easy.
Yeah.
Easy button. Slap the biggest easy button.
Yeah, as someone who struggled with alcohol before, let me tell you, nah. Yeah. Not even close.
It's like a 90s cartoon PSA. Someone will just be like, "You, stop drinking, just say no." And you'll be like, "That's it.
Okay.
I'm a changed man. Never again will this foul drink touch my lips." You got to be as dramatic as they're being in this story.
Exactly. You know? You can't just be like, "Okay, No, you have to be like,
Shakespeare.
Be gone!
Yeah.
Be gone, poison of my veins!
Yeah, yeah.
Firewater no longer enters my soul.
I cannot wash the taste from my mouth. Yeah, something, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some Shakespeare, some shit. He assured her. She smiled.
Thanks, honey. I can finally go to sleep. Love you.
Nothing puts me to bed like almost getting killed, she whispered, kissing him on the cheek. I love you too, Angel. Always have, always will. Well, he replied.
Briefly stopped loving you when I wanted to shoot you in the head.
Yeah, I stopped loving you for about... How long did that take? Like 2 minutes? Less?
Yeah, that was, I mean, we were pretty quick.
Yeah. I stopped loving you for about 2 minutes there, wherein I threatened to kill you. But I'm back to loving you now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He replied. Misty walked towards the bedroom, shutting the door behind her. Dib leaned back and tried to settle his pounding head when he heard a scream, a shot, and a thud from their room.
What?
Bob, this was like 3 chapters. It couldn't be this easy.
What?
Misty! He shouted and raced to his wife-to-be.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't be that easy. Let's go to chapter 2. Gaz arrives.
Okay. Bad.
And
bad.
The same author's note except for OOC-ness.
At least you've admitted it.
Personal thing. Authors, please don't stick stupid author's notes right after big cliffhangers at the end of the previous chapter, but that's again a personal thing. She was lying face down on the floor.
No, you called it!
A gunshot wound in the side of her head and blood staining her navy hair a deep plum. He could tell she had tripped, and her finger had most likely tensed and pulled the trigger.
What?
Because as she went to put away the gun, she apparently fucking trigger fingered it.
Yeah,
why?
Wait. So her trigger discipline is really bad, but also where she's pointing the gun is really bad because she's pointing it at her own head as she's walking away.
In the side of her head. She was walking to put the gun away, holding the gun to the side of her head
own temple.
With her finger on the trigger, and all it took was one little trip and whoops, accident.
Also, how can you tell she tripped? She's face down and dead in your room. But was there just like, I don't know, like a rake in the way?
Oh no, my Ethernet cord that I just laid across the floor? I don't know.
Yeah, like a tripwire is there.
Yeah.
Waiting for her to walk through so that it can scare her into tensing up and pulling the trigger and blowing her own brains out. Excuse me?
How fucking forced. I mean, I know I'm saying that now after everything that just happened, but like most other stories would have just ended, you know, but this one was like, all right, that completely half-assed hackneyed scene happened and was over with. Let's ratchet up the stakes.
Yeah, with another even more hackneyed
half-assed piece of shit. This is even worse than in movies when someone like slips on the kitchen floor and hits their head on the counter and dies.
Yeah.
Like I hate when that happens because I've never fallen in my own kitchen.
Well,
I don't know.
Kitchen accidents are the most common accidents in the country, but that's mostly because of kitchen knives.
Yeah,
and also, if you slip and hit your head on a counter, you're more likely to just get a concussion than die.
Slipping and hitting your head on a random thing in your house is about as half-assed as dying in childbirth.
You mean for a writer?
For a writer.
Yeah,
for a
not
writer
for the
to
person
happen
dying.
to a character.
Yeah.
I should have prefaced with that, yeah.
Yeah, but I slipped, it was like a couple winters ago, I slipped on the ice outside my front door, and I struck my head on the concrete step, and I didn't even break my skull. But, like, I was unconscious from that. Jesus. A neighbor woke me up. And
okay,
and then I came back inside, and it really hurt. And I was, like, in pain for a week. But I didn't die.
Yeah, sorry.
I mean, no, I'm just saying, like, you don't need to be sorry. It happened years ago, and I don't care. Yeah. But, like, it was wild that it happened. But, like,
I guess
slipping in your kitchen on a banana peel and hitting your head on the counter.
What was that movie we watched where someone, like, broke a glass and was cleaning up the glass and apparently slipped on glass shards and hit their head?
Yeah, what movie
and that
was that?
Like the start, that was like the guy's wife, and that was like the start of his tragic downfall that he had
that was so fucking lame.
Recover from. Like, that's what I'm getting at. Like, I'm trying, I guess I never intended to, like, make it seem like I was talking down to people who had accidents.
No. Like, I don't think that's how it came off. It's just like, as a writer, you know, it's just so fucking lazy to just be like, oh, well, died in childbirth or slipped in the kitchen and died. Like, human beings are not actually that fragile for the most part.
Yeah.
Like, we're not just paper mache or like a Fabergé egg getting ready to die the moment anything bumps into us.
Yeah, like for every one person who surprisingly tragically dies, like from something that really should not have killed them, there's like 100 people
thousands,
who get
maybe.
knocked the fuck out in like a fist fight and get back up and like start swinging without even knowing they are or something like that.
Yeah. And I mean, getting back to the story, we're talking about so she walks into the room, she's tripping over
trips
something and pulls the trigger and kills herself. You could have had this happen. Here's an alternate take on this. She's carrying the gun to the drawer and she trips. If you really want to keep the tripping, that's fine. Keep the trip. She drops the gun and it goes off when it hits the ground.
Yeah.
That is already more believable than holding the gun to her head as she walked to put it away.
Yeah.
And then also, like, if it hit her somewhere other than the head, maybe it hits her in the heart, and he runs over, and she's got, like, her last gasping breaths, and she can say something dramatic.
Yeah.
Nah. Instead, he walks into the room, and she's just dead.
Yeah.
Because she was... I mean, whose fault is it, really? His fault for pulling out the gun, but she's walking to put it away with the gun to her head. She had to know that could happen.
Again, this is it's so over the top that if you think about it at all, it's so dumb.
Doesn't make any sense.
Okay. Either way, she was dead. He gasped, dropping beside her. No, she's not dead. She can't be, he thought. Misty, he managed to say before he broke, crying.
Also, now that I think about it, the neighbors who he just woke up with his shouting are almost certainly going to be able to he has no alibi.
Yeah.
He was yelling at her, telling her to shut up, and then a gunshot was heard.
Yeah.
And now she's dead.
Yeah, this is like fate, the weavers of fate conspired to figure out a way to send this guy to prison forever.
And also conspired a way to get rid of the stupid OC.
Yeah, wow. 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah, thanks.
He probably spent a good hour crying, then realized he had to tell someone.
Yes!
Who was she close to? The only person who came to mind...
Parents, police, anyone.
The only person who came to mind was Gaz, so he grabbed the phone and dialed his 15-year-old sister.
What?
But who was she close to? His sister? I mean, I guess if he's her fiancé, that makes sense, but it's still like, why aren't you close enough to your sister to think, oh my god, I need to call someone I know?
Hello?
The violet-haired girl asked in her trademark morbid tone. Then again, it is like 2 a.m, so... Yeah, well, actually, it's 3 a.m, so,
Well, she always talks like that anyway, so...
Yeah, but I mean, you get woken up at 3 o'clock for a phone call.
Yeah.
For a minute, all she heard on the other end was sobbing.
Who is this?
She snapped, growing irritated. Gaz, it's me, Dib. Her brother choked.
What's up? Why are you crying?
Gaz asked, a hint of concern in her tone. A hint of concern in her tone. As if it was like she was maybe concerned.
Slightly.
Maybe.
In her tone.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
It's Misty, he stuttered. The young demon's topaz eyes snapped fully open. A rare feat. Thanks, author.
Why are we calling her a demon?
Did she become a demon after high school?
I don't think so.
I don't know. Thanks, author. We couldn't tell that this shocking situation caused shocking behavior.
What happened to her?
She asked in an almost sweet voice.
Let me try that again. Oh God, what do I do? What happened to her?
Yeah, she asked in an almost sweet voice. I got drunk last night.
You mean tonight?
I had a gun and was threatening to shoot. She took it, then went to our room. She tripped and shot herself.
Believable story.
He sobbed. The girl stood up straight, her breathing more like gasping. Gas? You okay? He asked in concern.
I'm coming. Give me 15 minutes.
She informed him, then hung up and ran to the bus station. The youth ran in the promised 15 minutes. Author, stop. And saw her brother sitting on the couch with Misty in his lap.
Can I just say, this is the way I would have rewritten that. A few minutes later,
yeah,
comma.
Yeah, or maybe line break, Gaz ran in.
Yeah.
Like,
that's it.
Like, if you're trying to be so melodramatic, stop having these weird asides almost.
Yeah.
Like these minor asides.
Like, does it help characterize either of them that she managed to get there in 15 minutes?
Yeah.
She estimated 15 minutes and got there in 15 minutes.
Compared to the fact that Dib's girlfriend just died, is it important that Gaz made it on time?
She wasn't late.
Yeah. Now, if she was late, that would have been the main focus of the story.
And you know what? It might have mattered if she was late if Misty hadn't died an hour ago, but Dib just spent an hour crying before calling anyone.
Yeah?
So she's dead.
And I guess, you know, when Misty was all like, oh, what do the neighbors think? I don't think they think jack shit. Because they heard, like, two people argue, a gunshot, Misty scream, or at least heard the gunshot, and nobody called the police or anything.
Nobody called the police. Nobody gave even the slightest bit of a shit. They probably is still asleep.
Yeah. They heard this loud-ass gunshot and just went,
what was that noise?
Rolled over and put the pillow on top of their head again.
They went, what was that noise? Must have been the wind. And then went back to sleep.
Yeah.
Or like when in Skyrim you fire a sneak attack arrow at somebody and it hits them but they don't die, and then all the other bandits are just walking around for a second and then they go like, all right, back to my routine with this arrow sticking out of my head.
Yeah. It looks like you have sinned. Whoosh. Must have been the wind. You what? Card in the corner.
Yeah, that
Young
fucking
Scrolls.
album
He's
rules.
Young Scrolls is insane. He's so good.
So fucking good. If you're an Elder Scrolls fan and you like swag ass hip hop using samples from the games, oh my god, St. Juve is so fucking good.
Like, this guy gets, this bit character who has like 5 lines across 3 games to like rap an entire album and drop sick ass bars. Okay. That was my advertisement.
God, we've been addicted to that album.
Yeah, for the last few days.
For like a week or two,
yeah. So, sitting on the couch with Misty in his lap, her usually sparkling amethyst eyes were a lifeless and flat purple, and there was dry black blood in the hair around her left temple.
Is she left-handed?
Yeah, she shot herself in the head in this crazy Rube Goldberg kind of way. I guess she was holding it in her left hand. Yeah. That or she was holding it in her right hand, but then wrapped her arm up.
Yeah, wrapped it over to get it on the other side.
Gaz has priorities here. Somehow, she was even beautiful in death.
Wow. How dramatic.
Yeah. That would have maybe been powerful if this really wasn't the moment for that.
Yeah. Like maybe at a funeral.
Yeah. Gaz gasped, not believing her eyes. Her brother looked up with teary red eyes.
Hold on, can we rewind for a second and just say that also checks off something on the bingo sheet?
What? Which one?
The OC is beautiful.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She's gone. Died at 2, he muttered, his tone remarkably like her daily. Fuck off. His tone remarkably like her daily one.
Yeah, fuck right off.
So so like he said that really monotone then, like she's gone, died at 2.
I guess.
On one hand, it's like there's way too much emotion sometimes, but there's also moments where I'm like, Jesus, have some emotion. It's like they divided it up really. But okay, that was chapter 2. We have one more chapter. Twist time. And I gotta say,
crap.
Yeah, the progression in this story has been bonkers, but this story ends at literally the worst point it could. Saying that now as someone who has read this before.
Okay. Author's note's different this time.
Oh.
A/N, I'm sorry that these chapters are so short. Thank you to my 2 reviewers. You rock, OOC-ness, and stupid thing about Gaz crying plus a twist. That didn't...
What?
You really need to figure out how verbs work in your author's notes and your disclaimers.
I understand why your chapters are so short, if that's how short your, like, sentences where you try to talk to people and
yeah, like, you're trying to convey something to us, and I don't know what "and stupid thing about Gaz crying plus a twist" means.
Yeah. I don't know. Disclaimer, nothing but Misty and my ideas. Staring at the sad predicament. I'm sad. Gaz,
can I just say, predicament is something we need to go looking on.
Oh, yeah, predicament, yeah.
In fact, here, let me just say this real quick. Listeners of this video, if you want to go find stuff on fanfiction.net, that might be good. Looking for bad misspellings is a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
And predicament is the one that I challenge people to look for.
If you search in fanfiction.net search box, that is only looking in titles or descriptions. If you want to find it within a story, you should go to Google, type site,
do a Google site search,
fanfiction.net space predicament.
Yeah,
and
then it'll
something
site
like
search. Yeah, I don't think you need the quotes on the site.
right, like, text thing as that for an example.
Yeah.
So, staring at the sad predicament, Gaz felt an odd sensation in her throat, as though it were constricting and she was going to choke. As if it was constricting. Like it was constricting.
And that almost rhymed. That was like a slant rhyme.
Yeah.
In her throat, and she was going to choke.
Her eyes felt weird, too. Almost like burning.
I mean, I guess I'm glad they're not burning. Yeah,
that one makes sense.
Dib?
She asked, surprised to hear her voice break like a thin twig.
Oh, do you want me to have my voice crack? Dib!
Just, yeah. Her brother looked up and saw tears in the young demon's eyes.
Is she a demon? I don't think she's a demon.
I didn't watch
Maybe
the
I'm
show.
wrong.
Yeah, I didn't watch the show.
I'm sure someone in the chat on the right side is going to be telling us whether or not that makes any sense.
Yeah. He felt his own eyes widen in astonishment. Was Gaz, the stoic, sarcastic girl he grew up with, actually crying for the first time since she was 4?
Does it matter?
Yeah,
Who
do you
cares?
care about this when you're holding your dead fiancé in your arms?
Fucking
get priorities.
You are indirectly the cause of her death, and you will be blamed for her death.
Yeah.
Maybe fucking get your priorities straight.
Yeah. You better not have, like, held the gun at all, because Misty's fingerprints are probably the only thing saving you from life in prison.
Yeah.
Gaz, are you crying? He asked, wanting to go comfort her, but not wanting to leave Misty.
Am I?
She inquired, then felt something hot and wet slide down her cheeks.
Gross.
Tears.
I mean, I'm not even implying anything. That just sounds gross.
Yeah.
It sounds like a fucking, split pea soup just splashed down her face.
Yeah. You are! Wow! Her brother whispered in awe. You know, author, if you want me to take this seriously, you gotta take it seriously.
Yeah. Oh, shut up! It's someone crying, not the cure for cancer.
Okay, that might be something she says, but still. Gaz scoffed, wiping her eyes on her arm.
Shut up!
Yeah. Oh, Dib. You know
Dib, shut up, you little bean.
You little rascal.
Come here, let me give you a noogie.
Yeah. Not if I give you one first. Gaz scoffed, wiping her eyes on her arm. I'm just surprised. I can't really remember the last time you cried. You were what, 4?
They're just casually talking about it.
I love when characters repeat something the author wrote as narration, right above this. He asked. Yeah.
I don't know. Not like the last 10 years.
You're right. I forgot to be real cash with that line.
You want to do that again? Real cash?
Sure. I'm just surprised. I can't really remember the last time you cried. You were what, 4?
Yeah.
She said, staring at Misty again. She walked over and touched the girl's chest, putting her hand over her heart. She gasped.
God damn it.
There was a small thump.
Why don't you say she felt a faint heartbeat?
Onomatopoeia. Right here, right now.
Even if, you know what? I'll do it even better for you, author. She felt what felt like
She felt
A
what
faint
seemed
heartbeat.
to be something like a
a
heart.
faint beating heart,
Yeah.
as though there were a heart beating in her chest,
Yeah.
faintly.
So there was a small thump thump, then another, and another, growing stronger under her hand.
Stronger? Why? Is she getting better?
Yeah, she's recovered real quickly from that, gunshot to the brain.
Dib, she's alive. I can feel her heartbeat.
Gaz squeaked, startled.
Oh, do you want me to squeak that?
No.
I don't know
You
how.
can if you want. Oh,
I
jeez.
can feel her heartbeat.
What? But that's impossible. The paramedics declared her dead.
Paramedics? When?
Yeah, somewhere in the last hour
Hour
that
and
was
15
not
minutes.
somewhere off screen, despite being on screen the entire time. Paramedics showed up and
Left the
evaluated
body!
Misty. Evaluated Misty and then left. Yeah, and so Dib was alone again when Gaz came over. Or I don't know. Maybe Dib's out on the couch with Misty, and there's an entire CSI evidence team over in Misty's room. No?
Yeah.
This is
What?
dumb. Yeah. Dumb.
You didn't think this through at all.
Nope, you didn't. He whispered, then looked at his finance. Misty, can you hear me? He was further shocked, just like the readers, as she nodded faintly. How is she alive? He asked, scared
How
and ecstatic
indeed.
at once. He noticed his sister's hand. I think it was you, he told his sister.
What? Dude, I know you're shocked, but how could I have brought her back?
The girl scoffed. Well, she was dead until you touched her, he pointed out.
Look, the point is that she's alive. We gotta get her to a... we gotta get her to a...
Gaz began, then noticed her wound was gone, her heart was growing stronger, and the little color she had was returning to her face.
What is she, Jesus?
Makes it sound like even when Mistia was fully alive, she had very little color, like she was on the Addams Family. The original, or the first reboot that's apparently pretty good, but not the recent one that was forgettable? I don't know, I didn't even hear any takes
Forgettable.
about
It wasn't even asked for.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, how many fucking kids were
takes.
clamoring for an Addams Family reboot?
I don't know.
None.
No, I don't know. How is this happening? Through the power of plot. Gaz, it had to be you. The medics pronounced her dead.
So not a doctor, then. Paramedics and then medics.
I mean, anyone would have pronounced her dead.
Yeah, I mean, gunshot to the head.
Yeah, I mean, I would have
An
walked...
hour of pointless crying.
If I walked in and saw that, I'd have pronounced her dead.
Yeah.
I'm only CPR trained. But I'm CPR trained.
Yeah, so if you need to breathe air into that
Yeah.
head wound,
What? Okay. Dib repeated as Misty's stiff limbs began to limber up. You really wanted to use limber there.
yeah. How the hell could I have brought her back? I'm not some kind of miracle.
She shouted, growing irritated, but she couldn't help but wonder.
Ooh.
Yep, another suckish short chapter. R&R anyway, please.
The end.
And that's the end of the story.
And let's
So
not
as I
review.
mentioned, it ends in the worst spot.
Yeah, that was fucking horrible. Let's never review this, right, viewers? We're not going to leave any reviews or contact this person in any way. Let's see what reviews are here. Is it Flaming Arrow or is it Flamingaro?
I think I'd say Flamingaro.
I want to say Flamingaro. No! Dramatic OC Drunk Dib! No! Don't die, Misty. You is too awesome. What a great,
Okay, cool.
great personality, Flamingaro.
Yeah.
No, Misty's dead. Not cool. immediately bursts into tears. No!
Get
really
you
don't
a
have
girl who cares about you as much as this random person cares about this other person's OC.
Get you a fan who cares about your OCs.
As much
Like
as
Flamingo.
Flamingo cares about Italian Miss's OC. Damn.
Yeah.
Foopadoop said, "That was really sad. At first I thought Dib was going to die.
Why?
But Misty died."
Because Misty came across as a crazy person to start with.
Oh, right, yeah. But Misty died instead. Parentheses, burst into tears, parentheses. Why? Why so sad? Oh, wait, it's a trad-getty.
Ooh! That might be another thing to look up.
Yeah, you guys
Trad-getty.
get your searching fingers going.
Trad-getty.
Trad-getty, yeah. I forgot. Please continue.
Oh my gosh, continue.
Oh my god, that was like
Foopadoo.
3 quick sentences in a row, all with a bad misspelling, or at least bad grammar.
Yeah,
Must see more.
Flamingo comes back for chapter 3 and says, "Yay, Gaz has magical healing powers. Fear her powers of awesomeness."
Cool.
Remember when people thought this was a good substitute for having a personality?
Yeah.
It's like our generation was like that.
Yeah, yeah.
And it was the worst.
Yeah. Now all the kids even younger are just posting 4-dimensional memes instead.
Yeah, I kind of prefer that, honestly.
Born,
You know? Like TikTok memes and like OK Boomer and whatever else. Like, that's still better than this.
Yeah. And then Kaled Alchemist said, "Interesting story, very dark, though strange to see Gaz crying.
Oh my god, get your fucking priorities straight.
It's good, though. I look forward to seeing more. Maybe Zim will make an appearance later.
Who cares?
But there was never more. Quoteth the Raven, or whatever the shit.
Yeah, quoth the
Nevermore.
Raven.
Yeah.
Nevermore.
Lo ed veriteth, quoteth that Raven. Nevermore.
Lo and Veriteth, doth thy blunt smokers club ever meet again?
Yeah. But,
Classic.
yeah. So do you agree that first and last fight, all right, because Misty should have gotten the fuck out of there.
Yeah, she really
after
should
what
have.
happened. Yeah,
And so, honestly, the two of them both independently need to get the fuck out of there. They're both horrible to each other,
yeah,
and they're both horrible people, and they need to really fix themselves before they can be on any kind of relationship. Otherwise, it will end in, and I quote, trad-getty.
Trad-getty, and will never continue. But it's okay because Gaz has magic powers somehow.
For some reason, to no end.
But then the story just ends. Jesus,
It just, yeah.
first
Well.
fight. Yep. Thanks for watching.
Thank you to everyone supporting us on Patreon, and an extra special thanks to our Platinum D-Holes, ODST795, Polly Hebert, and Stannis the Manus. If you'd like to support us, check out the Patreon. Even $1 will get you some special perks, and $5 will let you vote in a poll for the next story we cover on the channel. If you want to hang out with us, make sure you check out our public Discord, and if you'd like to request a story, simply fill out the form below. We'll check it out to see if it's something we want to cover. Thanks for watching.